Welcome to a short mobility and flexibility training. In the next about 12 minutes, we're going to work on our mobility and flexibility, which is very, very important. It's not only about strengthening our body, about going for a run, doing intervals. It is very, very important that we also do some flexibility and mobility training. This can be by stretching, this can be by some dynamic movements, etc. What we're going to do in the next 12 minutes is I'm going to show you just a few exercises to work on mobility, which you can easily incorporate into your daily life. If you're in front of a TV, in the evening at home, or over lunch, whatever, you need only space, maybe a mat, if you're comfortable. You don't need training shoes, you don't need training clothes. You can do that whenever you want, wherever you want. We're going to start with it. Down on the floor. Easy mobility and flexibility exercises. So you can come down on the floor, place yourself on your back, and then you just grab your knees. And I want you to hold right below your kneecaps, alright? Go flex up, and you gently pull them towards your body. Doesn't need to be too much, but just a gentle pull. And then you think of drawing an 8, a figure 8. So you come to the front, pull it to you, release, and go to the back. You think of that figure 8 movement. Oh, it doesn't need to be a beautiful 8. It's just about that pulling and releasing and a small movement to the side, alright? It doesn't need to be big. It's just about releasing the tension in our lower back, increasing that mobility and flexibility skills over the next 10 to 12 minutes. And you can do that with your own pace, alright? There's no race here. It's just a 10, 12 minutes work. Out. Easy, chill. Circle it. And one more each side. And reset. Very good. Put your legs down so you got that lower back that release. Now you can put your arms all the way out to the side. And you drop your knees to the front. Now the goal is to bring both knees close to the floor without lifting the shoulder blades. So what naturally happens if we drop the leg to the front, we lift the shoulder up. We're going to bring it down so we got that stretch right over the diagonal and keeping the knees close to the floor. Front arm is down on the ground. I just hold that for a bit. Get a feeling of it. Keep the shoulder blades down and keep breathing. And now you slowly release and do the same thing to the back. Come close to the floor without lifting the shoulder blades. And again, you just hold that for a few seconds. Now from that static movement, we'll go into a dynamic movement. To get the same move, and you just go to the front, touch the floor, and bring it right to the back. Touch it. Always keep the shoulder blades down. And make sure you think of keeping the heels close to your butt cheeks. And then drop it, release it, drop it. Keeping the shoulder blades down, that's very, very important here. Let's do 2 more each side. And 1 to the back and release. You can stay down on the floor and you can extend your legs. Just coming up slowly into a seated position. And we're going to work on that posterior chain a bit. So place yourself, try to keep your knees close to the floor. And again, it's no competition, this is you working on your flexibility. And you're going to slowly move towards your feet, alright? Just slowly. If you can touch them already, go for it, but just do it slowly, reaching forward. And what you start to feel is your posterior chain, your hamstrings and calves starting to engage, meaning you feel a light tension in it, right? And that's okay. That's what we want. We keep reaching forwards. If you can, touch your toes and just hold that. And if the tension is too high, just bend and lift off the knees slightly off the ground. Totally fine. It's not a race again, it's no competition. It's you working on your skills. If you can, keep the knees down and just feel that tension and stretch in our posterior chain, calf and hamstrings. If you can go lower with your body. That's totally up to you. You choose right here what your knees feels good for you. And you just slowly release and bring back in. Take a deep breath and let's do that right away again. All right, so you breathe in, and when you breathe out, you reach forwards and hold that for a few seconds again. Try to release your shoulders so there's no tension in your neck. And just stay with this. 3, 2, 1, and reset. Very good. That's our posterior chain. Now, to gain more flexibility, we're gonna challenge ourselves with also a bit of core workout. It's not intense, but we do still need a stable core for that flexibility work. So you can turn around. And you come into the tabletop position, right? Knees below your hips, hands below your shoulders. Squeezing your belly so we're not arching our back up or down. That's not what we want here. We want that core stability right on. You press your hands down into the ground, holding on to this. Yeah, you keep the tension in your belly, but now we're gonna move. We call this a cat and cow pose, all right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna arch your back on purpose, but never lose the tension in your core, and lift your hat, all right? So we come into cat pose and going down into cow pose. All right, so you arch it and release it. Don't forget about your core stability, right? You always squeeze in your belly button and keep that muscle tension alive. So we protect our spine, but we work on that, releasing that tension, especially when we sit a lot during the day. That is a very, very good exercise to release that muscle tension in our back. Now let's do that 5 times, all right? Your own pace, your own rhythm, all good. Let's do it on 3 more. Two to go. Last one. And reset. Now you can come right onto your belly button. Bring it down on, belly on the floor, and you can place your feet down, right? Your hands can be right below here, you can put it to the side, whatever you feel comfortable with. Now to work on that mobility and flexibility, we're going to work and lift the legs up, and you clutch your heels together. So what you think of is having something between your feet, and you want to keep it there so it never drops down. Ignore your upper body in terms of it stays on the floor, and now you lift the thighs up and bring it back down. You lift it up and bring it back down. Just the thighs off the ground and back down. Think of the heels pushing together, up and down. So what we're working about here is also a bit of glute strength, but we make sure our lower back is getting that mobility and flexibility. It means up and down. Don't rush right here, okay? Easy going on, up and down. Give me 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one, and reset. Put your feet down and you come onto your knees. Put your hands to the front. Now you sink low into a child's pose. And you sit down as low as possible. Keep reaching forwards. We're going to go back into some dynamic stretching. So you come from the child's pose, bring it forwards, put your hips on the floor, and gaze up into the sky. Hold that for a few seconds, and then come right back into a child's pose. Hold that for a few seconds, and bring your hips back down forward to the floor. Head up. And we can do that a few more times. And that is actually already our last exercise for that flexibility and mobility session here. Try to sit low as possible. And when you come forward, bring your hips down to the floor. Open up, relaxing your shoulders. Let's do that 2 more times. Go low. Bring it forward. One more time to the back. And forwards. Very nice. Release. Shake it out real quick and breathe. Well, that was only 12 minutes, so very, very short. And if you do that 2 to 3 times a week, you already do so much for your body and help recover, especially when you do some other workouts, intense stuff, also races, whatever. That's very important. If it's just for a few minutes like this, that already helps you to A, recover faster and more efficient, and B, also to perform on a better level. And when we talk about recovery, especially after a workout or very, very intense race, it is crucial that you not only do some stretching, mobility, it's also crucial that you fill up your carbs, all right? So your body needs the carbs, fill them up. Also, if you get enough carbs, it helps you to intake the protein you need. That's very, very important, right? It's a whole package from mobility, flexibility, stretching, working out, and nutrition to perform on the highest level. My name is Fabian, and I hope I see you soon. Goodbye.